We're doing very bold makeup, very simple, very fresh, based on pop art, based on Liechtenstein prints, and we're making a paper mouth, which is quite romantic in a way, Rossetti, but it's very done in a pop way with black and gold paper.
In the first section, it was inspired a little bit by Vidal Sassoon haircuts, those 3 points. Then in the second section, something with romance. Sometimes we wrap the hair around the head and mix straight texture with the fuzzy texture. And then in the last one, we had the fringes, but then we had all the pins in the hair, kind of to mimic the skeleton of the hats.
The focus of this collection was on a sophisticated luxury. It was in the fabrics, the embroideries, and the embellishment. A new mood of restraint for John Galliano.
We were looking at Fabergé and his work, his art, but then I tried to see it in a much more abstracted way, almost as if Liechtenstein or Jeff Koons had seen it through their eyes. So being able to abstract those prints as opposed to doing an all-over print and use them in a much more kind of contemporary way. I've now introduced the second line, Galliano. I'm able to express the younger, wilder, more experimental side of my personality, which means that we've been able to nudge the signature line into a much more luxurious way of working with qualitative fabrics, embroidery, fantastic tailoring, and the fluidity of the draping.
The madness was all in the hat.
Yeah, I mean, John's great at making that balance. I mean, he wanted to have something which was really sort of express the fantasy of the dress, but in a bigger, more airy way. That's why we worked with such transparent textures, and it was completely romantic and, they were huge, but they were delicate as well.
Focus on the bias cut. I did feel you're absolutely right. The show was about your signatures.
Yes, no, absolutely. That's my handwriting, and that's what Galliano stands for. We're trying to do it in its most purest form for my clients that have been buying me for a long time now, and just being able to work with those luxurious fabrics was a joy.
To be the one to see you through every step you have taken.
I like people who are very individual, very different, and you never know what to expect, and that's what I love.
I love seeing those evening dresses that reminded me so much of what made him at one moment be the desire of every woman. Those bias cut dresses that he used to do. I gave one to Karine Roitfeld, and I still see her wearing it, and I gave it to her 10 years ago.
It's quite possible that Galliano's new tameness isn't a respite, maybe some kind of maturity for the designer. He's certainly embracing his signatures with this collection.